Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Scott Beadle with Big Fox News. A severe storm rips through parts of Pennsylvania, knocking over cars and tearing down trees and power lines. There are also reports of multiple structure collapses across the area, including this shopping plaza in Wilkes-Barre. The National Weather Service confirmed that this was a tornado. Officials say at least 6 people were injured, but all those injuries are considered minor. Local officials are requesting state and federal assistance. Corning was colored with red, white, and blue today in honor of Flag Day. The National Day celebrates the official adoption of the Stars and Stripes as the country's national banner. That decision occurred on June 14, 1777. In 1916, President Woodrow Wilson officially recognized the day. Despite numerous attempts by advocates to have the day recognized as a federal holiday, that has never occurred. But did you know that New York and Pennsylvania are the only 2 states to establish Flag Day as a statewide holiday? The Corning Elks Lodge is planning a ceremony to honor the flag in Centerway Square. That's going on at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Congressman Tom Reed will be the keynote speaker. Sheriff Chris Moss is running for Chemung County Executive. Moss and Deputy County Executive Mike Cruson were contending for the Republican ticket in the race. That primary will no longer be taking place after Cruson decided to seek the Independence Party endorsement instead. Moss was on Frankly Speaking this morning, talking about jobs in the area.
I mean, we've got to find a way to have, get some manufacturing jobs here. The jobs that are coming with Wayfair are great, but I know one of the issues that I'm hearing as I travel throughout the county is Wayfair has a drug policy, and we may have a hard time finding 450 individuals who can, pass the marijuana exam alone right here in Chemung County. So we're going to have to expand out to Tioga, Bend, Schuyler, and probably bring in some workforce from there, which that's not a problem. But I think when it comes to, job creation, economic development, we need a professional. Nothing against Mike Cruson, but he was appointed to that position by Tom Santulli as a favor. Let's get somebody who has proven experience to bring jobs to the area and bring them in and have them run STEG.
For the 8th consecutive year, the New York State Senate approved legislation to enact what's known as the Domestic Violence Protection Act, or Brittanys Law. The legislation is co-sponsored by Senator Tom O'Mara. It would require domestic violence offenders to register with the State Division of Criminal Justice Services following their release from prison or other institutions. The name Brittanys Law comes from a case out of Geneva, New York. After 12-year-old Brittany Pasalacqua and her mother Helen Bushell were brutally murdered by a paroled domestic violence offender. Bushell began a relationship with the killer, John Edward Brown, without knowing he had been incarcerated for violently assaulting his infant daughter. The legislation is currently in the Assembly Corrections Committee. Chris is up next with your Big Fox forecast.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
And a good evening. Welcome back, everyone. Some pretty pleasant temperatures out there today after seeing some pretty active weather across parts of the area last night, especially down in parts of Pennsylvania. They did see some tornadic activity, also some very gusty winds and heavy rainfall, but a beautiful day today as temperatures made it back into the mid to upper 70s and low 80s. 77 degrees a high in Watkins Glen, 78 here in Elmira, 77 in Corning, 78 degrees to Wanda, and 77 in Mansfield. Here's what we expect to see in the next couple of days. Really going to keep the nice weather around at least for a couple more days. Mostly sunny skies, very pleasant for your Friday. I think our weekend should start out okay, but may bring a little more warm weather and humid weather back by Father's Day. And that could produce a couple showers and thunderstorms, especially by the time we get to Sunday afternoon. And it looks like even warmer weather arriving early next week. Highs could get back to the upper 80s and low 90s across parts of the Twin Tiers. Here's what it looks like for your Friday. High pressure just off to our west. It's actually going to bring some very comfortable weather back into our area. Mostly sunny skies expected. But once that high pressure does move away from the area, then some warmer weather back in the forecast, especially as you get into late in the weekend and early next week. Here's our 7-day forecast. 75 the high for your Friday, looking pretty good. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 82, partly sunny by Saturday. Upper 80s to near 90. By Father's Day, again, could be isolated showers or thunderstorms, at least scattered about the area Sunday afternoon. Could be in the 90s by Monday. 93 degrees, the high temperature Monday afternoon. Again, a threat of rain still in the forecast. We do drop back in the upper 70s on Tuesday, low 80s by Wednesday. So middle part of next week, actually looking pretty good with temperatures in the low 80s. Again, another threat of some rain, though, arriving for the middle part of next week. A chance of rain on Wednesday, high reaching about 80. And looking like temperatures stay in the low 80s by Thursday. Overnight lows, not too bad, actually dipping in the upper 40s. By early Saturday morning, but then back into the low to mid 60s to low 70s for those overnight lows by early next week. Hope you have a great weekend.
All right, thank you, Chris. Boy, that looks like a gorgeous Friday, doesn't it? Thanks for joining us on Big Fox News. Have a great night.